Hello, you are welcome back to my channel. My name is Ephraim and I talk about personal finances and career. So if you're a career professional or you do business, you probably find my books useful. In the first part of this video, I started a series about the books that I have written. I've written 15 books to date. I think about 4 of them or 5 of them are in soft copies or ebooks, and the remaining hard copies. I have 7 of them that I'm reviewing in this series. And in the first video, I reviewed the 3 books I reviewed were Career, How to Choose a Career Path, A Spiritual Perspective to Career Choices in Life. If you haven't seen that video, I encourage you to see it. That was one. The second one was Managing Family Finance for Career Couples. And the third one I reviewed was Understanding Investment for Beginners. So in this part 2, I will be starting with Career and Romance. This book was actually very original title when I started, but my book designer thought I should change it for it to be more appealing. What I had in mind was how to find a spouse, then for career professionals, something like that. But he suggested we should change it. Then I went to think, and we came out with Career and Romance: How to Find Your Soulmate as a Single Career Professional. Why did I write this book? I wrote this book because I moved to the UK in 2018, and since I came, I've seen a lot of people also coming, mostly single people. And if you are familiar with the UK environment, you are mostly isolated as a foreigner if you don't have friends. And a lot of these professionals find it very difficult to integrate in their initial years when they move in. So that was the prompting, really, to get people out more and strategies that they can implement in their career or life to be able to find a spouse. If you spend a lot of time in the office as a professional, you can build an environment where you are still open to find love, even in an office environment. I did a post recently on office romance and I got a lot of reactions on LinkedIn and offline, people just questioning and asking. And I did share 3 points that I think would be useful for people that want to start office romance. Well, that's not where I'm going to do it. I'm sure I did a video on my YouTube channel. You can check it out. But it was really good. People have read it, get ideas, and found their spouses in the process. So I encourage you to grab this book if you are, especially in a foreign land, or you are so busy you don't have time to mingle or go out for events or things like that. The book will help you. You can find love online. A lot of people have found love on social media, but there's a way to go about it. So this book would help you with that. This book was written. The next book is Finding Your Purpose, and this was written in 2023. This Finding Your Purpose and Lessons from the Life and Teachings of Paul in the Bible. Why did I write this book? I got inspiration from a church administration by one of my pastor Emmanuel, and he was teaching about Paul and made me understand our life as a relay where a baton is when someone runs their race and pass the baton to the next person. If you're familiar with the Bible, in Acts chapter 1 to chapter 9, when Saul was converted, before then, Jesus told his disciples to remain in Jerusalem until they are endued with power from on high. But they are going to, after he said, when they will receive power, after that, the Holy Ghost has come upon them, and the witnesses in Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and to the uttermost part of the earth. That was a standing instruction. Well, until Acts chapter 9, the ministry has just revolved around Jerusalem, Judea, just local. But we find from Acts chapter 9, after Paul was converted, the ministry now went global. So there are people that you meet in your journey to life. They're just passing on the baton to yourself. And you must realize those little cues, I would say, that can help you in that process to know when you're supposed to do some things and how to find your purpose in that chain that you can run with. You can miss it. Just imagine if Paul hadn't been with Stephen, for example, because it was Stephen sowed the seed in his heart. Because after Stephen was stoned, remember, Stephen had said, Lord, don't hold this sin against them. And after a while, he said, I commit my spirit. And that's when he died. Even when they were stoning him, he didn't feel any bitterness. And so, or Paul saw that transformation in the life of a mortal man, that Stephen's face glowed like an angel. And Paul heard the first word, Lord. He saw that Stephen had a personal relationship with God, and that really helped him. So even though that seed was sown, he didn't pay attention to it at that point, but the seed was sown. So he went, collected letters. He was going to Damascus, and on his way, a light shone, and that was when Jesus appeared to him. And once Jesus struck him down and he fell, a light shone on his face. Jesus shouted or called out, Saul, why persecuted thou me? And the first thing that Saul said was, Lord, who are you? But we know that that was the seed that was sown by Stephen. And Jesus said, you cannot kick against the pricks in his heart that was bothering him. Who is this guy? How can he die? And he was still loving. But despite, he was still hardened. And Jesus had to prompt and say, you cannot kick against the pricks. And that how he got converted. So Paul found his purpose through all of those experiences. And after that experience, he went to Arabia. He spent some years. And I think from Bible history, he spent around 12 years or so, or more than before, after his conversion, before he came back to start preaching. So it's a deep dive to Paul's life, but not just in the surface, but all of those experiences and how you can find purpose using that mirror from Paul's life. This is an expose, and thank you, Pastor Emmanuel, for the insight. This was supposed to be a review for 3 books, but I think I managed to do 4 books actually. I managed to do only 2, Career and Romance, and Find Your Purpose, Lessons from the Life and Teachings of Paul. I would encourage you to get this. I just got a review this morning on this particular book, and it was really eye-opening. I couldn't even believe that they saw insights beyond what I have written. That's what books does to you. When you read, your mind is opened and you're able to see beyond what is written because you get new insight and revelation, like they say. Unfortunately, I will not be able to review the remaining 2 books in this part, but I will do a part 3 so that the videos are not too long and you can get to watch part 3 separately. If you haven't gotten any of these books, please do reach out. You can find them on Amazon, or you can send a DM. We can arrange for delivery and payment. Or if you want someone to speak at your event or anything like that, to your staff or gathering, I'm totally open to such arrangement. I'll see you in part 3 of my 7-book review. Until then, cheers. See you later.